Today, I have a new book available on Amazon. It is called PH2T3R, the Journal for Solar Culture. And it contains some essays that I've already written and are already available online, and then 3 original essays written just for this book. And the first one is called The Meaning of Things, and it has to do with the role of objects in creating a meaningful life. And I think it's an important investigation of that idea, and it gives you some ideas of ways to make your life more meaningful. The second essay of mine that's in this new book is about Apollo. And when we think about Apollo, we think about Apollo many times in the frame of Nietzsche, the Apollonian versus the Dionysian, this very cold, rational figure. But when I looked at the primary sources, that wasn't my Apollo. That wasn't what I got out of the primary sources. So I have a new kind of a different take on what Apollo means, what he is, and why I think that he was so important to the Greeks, and why the idea of Apollo can be useful to us in our own lives. And finally, the third essay that's original of mine in this book is the afterword, and that has to do with what I call zoological humanism, the idea of creating a humanistic philosophy that exists within an acceptance of human nature. That we have a human nature, a primal nature that doesn't go away. And when we try to pretend like we don't have that nature, we create all kinds of inhuman situations. And along those lines, this essay also addresses the problem of transhumanism, which is becoming very prominent right now, as a lot of the people who are transhumanists are all actually working on AI. So I think it's a timely essay. Now, I said this is my book, but it is not just my book. It was written by the first men, the men of my group, the Order of Fire. And there's all kinds of other essays in here that I didn't write, that these guys wrote. There's a great essay by my friend Ed on ghee, the Indian butter, and the meaning of ghee in the Vedas and so forth. There's also a really important essay by C.B. Robertson. He spent a lot of time working on it. He is my co-host, as you may know, on the PH2T3R show on YouTube, on the Order of Fire's YouTube channel. He wrote this essay called Descending Odin's Throne, Enlightenment, Postmodernism, and Solar Phenomenology as a Groundwork for Meaning. And we're going to take that apart and talk about the ideas in this essay on our next live show this week at Thursday at 7 p.m. PST. And so we'll investigate that a little bit more there, but it's a fantastic essay and really groundbreaking in terms of what it brings to the table and talking about, dealing with the postmodern world and transcending that. Now, there are a lot of men's groups out there, but the Order of Fire is more than just a men's group. It has a purpose, and that purpose is to expand on the philosophy of solar idealism and to create solar culture. And so this book really represents the intellectual output of the group. There's all kinds of poetry in it, poetry written by different members, and song lyrics to songs that they've put out, and albums that some of the guys have worked on. And there's research material, architecture, some research material that I did about the Apache Striker. There are some great motivational essays. One of them is by Dustin Lindsay, one of our members, called The World Needs a Hero and Why It Must Be You. Fantastic material that really contributes to this philosophy that we're developing. There's even an article on here on making Sumerian beer. One of our guys has been perfecting his recipe for Sumerian beer that he brings to our events, and that's what we toast with during our what we call the Holy Round. It's been a really interesting addition to our culture that I'm really excited about. So there's so much in this book, and like I said, there's some new material by me, some new material that you haven't read by some other great writers, and I hope you will go on Amazon and check it out. You can also buy it directly for as long as we have some. We've sold a lot today on the Order of Fire's brand new website at orderoffire.com. So go to Amazon, go to our website, check out the book. I'm really proud of my contribution to it. I'm proud of what the guys were able to contribute to it. I'm looking forward to what they do next year, and I think that this is the start of something much bigger.